The deep well of depression is my interpretation of what it's like to live with depression. It's my way of describing that dark place in this disorder. So by conceptualizing the components that make up the anatomy of this deep well, perhaps it can shed some light on an otherwise dark and mysterious place. In this video, we are going to look at the person treading the deep, dark water of despair. But first, hello, Jamie Dukes here, and welcome to Deep Well Motivation, where we share knowledge, perspectives, and actions to help motivate you to be the best you can be in your mental health. If you'd like to join us on our wellness journey, we upload 1 to 2 videos per week. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and click the notification button so you don't miss a single upload. On this channel, there is hope always. So who is this person treading water in this deep well of depression? Well, the short answer is, it's me. When I was trying to conceptualize depression, when I was trying to think of it as something that you can relate to in a real world sense, if you could see depression, if you could touch depression, what would it actually look like? What form would it take? And for me, it just made sense that, at least in my experience, that it felt like you were stuck at the bottom of a well and there was just no way out. There's no way for you to get out of there alone, by yourself. And the best you could do is just tread the water at the bottom of the well, try to keep your head above water, and hope for the best, that somebody will come and help you. In an earlier video, I introduced the concept of this deep well of depression and its features by drawing a picture. And above the hole in the ground, i.e. the well, is the sun. Now, the idea here is that from the sun, there's a tiny beam of light that stretches down all the way to the bottom of the well. So the person who is treading water at the bottom of the well, they could barely see it. It's such a tiny, tiny beam of light. So it's easily missed when they're feeling hopeless as they struggle to stay afloat. And from time to time, they'll lift their head out of the water and they'll open their eyes and fail to see that little tiny beam of light. And that little tiny beam of light serves to symbolize hope in this disorder. And it's very hard to see that sometimes when you are engulfed in darkness, when you are so hopeless that you'll never get out of this well. You'll never climb up out of this well. That you just fail to see it. It's always there. You can see it, but you just fail to acknowledge it. So when you take this perspective and translate it into a real life situation, it would be similar to just failing to fully appreciate the good things in your life when you're struggling with depressive symptoms. You have so much. You have so much going for you. Okay? There's so much positivity in your life, but when you are engulfed in darkness, when you are struggling with depressive symptoms, it's very hard to truly appreciate the things that bring your life meaning and value. In the moment, it's very difficult to acknowledge that when you are just struggling to stay afloat, so to speak. Another thing to note about this individual treading water at the bottom of this well is that they're isolated. They're by themselves. They're withdrawn from the world above them, outside of this well. And that actually parallels a depressive symptom called interest deficit. An interest deficit is basically when you do feel withdrawn from the outside world, when you have that urge, or not even urge, but when you have that pull toward isolation, where you just feel you need to be alone. This particular symptom I really struggled with in my disorder. I found it so difficult to be out there, to be out socially. I felt very uncomfortable being at work around other people. I just didn't feel like socializing. I just felt like I needed to be alone. Whenever we had company over at the house, from time to time, I would escape to my room or in the basement maybe if I just found some time to be alone. Just 10 minutes or so, just to be away from the voices, from the sound of the TV going and the sounds of pots and pans as you know, people were preparing supper and so forth. Like I became very sensitive to noise, and I just felt more comfortable being isolated, just being by myself. That's where I felt comfortable. So overall, I just lost interest in being out there and being in social settings. And this disorder made me want to be alone, to be isolated. And when you have that strong pull toward isolation, it makes it so much harder to find the strength to reach out and let somebody in, to let somebody help you. So that's what this person treading water at the bottom of this well means to me, is somebody who is isolated, they're by themselves, they feel hopeless. And there's a fair bit of distance from the bottom of the well to the top of the well where your supporters are standing there wanting to help you. It's very difficult to function. It's very difficult to be yourself when you feel trapped, when you feel incapacitated, and you lack that interest. Or I should say, when the disorder causes you a deficiency in your interest in other things. And part of the reason why I believe you become disconnected with respect to this particular symptom of interest deficit, part of the reason I believe is that you just feel hopeless. You feel hopeless in your disorder. You don't feel like there's a way out. And when you feel hopeless, you become consumed, engulfed in darkness. You become consumed by your challenges to the point where they're the first things you think about when you get up in the morning, and they're the last things you think about at bedtime that keep you awake at night. And when you're in that cycle, it makes it so difficult to be able to function anywhere as near normally, anywhere as near the surface of that well. And in the real life context, when you're struggling with this disorder, you may find yourself isolated. You may find yourself lying on your bed. And from time to time, yes, you will see the sun through the cracks of the blinds. But you fail to appreciate just how beautiful of a day it is on the other side of that window. Instead, you just roll over, grab the blankets, cover yourself, and just cry. That's what the person treading water at the bottom of the well means to me. Thank you for watching, and I would like to mention that much of the content on my channel is inspired by my self-help book entitled A Deep Well Perspective for Healing in Depression, Introducing 7 Action Steps to Overcoming Depressive Symptoms. You can find it on Amazon, and I've provided a link to it in the description box below. Thank you, and remember, there is hope always.